Picture this, you're 14 years old, your father abandoned you, your mother just died in a car crash, you have nothing, no money, no family, no future. Now imagine becoming a World Cup champion. This is Makazole Mapimpi, the man who scored South Africa's first ever try in a World Cup final.
Try that we've ever scored in a World Cup final. And scored by possibly the player that has come from the most hopeless situation in the history of Springbok rugby.
But here's what nobody knew when he crossed that line in 2019. He had no family photos to put on the back of his jersey, because everyone he loved was dead. So, how does a boy with nothing become rugby royalty? And what does it cost to climb from absolute zero to the very top? This is the story of the most unlikely Springbok who ever lived. June 26, 1990, Eastern Cape, South Africa. Makazole Mapimpi enters a world that doesn't want him. No running water, no electricity, extreme poverty. His father, gone before he could even remember his face. Every morning he walked 10 kilometers to school, on foot through dust and heat to a tiny rural school with broken windows and no rugby fields. While his future teammates attended elite schools with perfect pitches and professional coaches, Mapimpi had dirt and determination. But at 14, even that gets ripped away. His mother, Eunice, the only person who believed in him, dies in a car accident.
Yes, he was playing, I think, obviously, he was playing for South Africa. And I think if you talk to him, I don't know, do you know the story about the jerseys? Of the, on the back of your numbers, you had to have family members. You know, you can give him photos of family members. He only had photos of himself. Because he didn't have anybody else. And I say, why are you doing this? And he says he's got nobody. His brother died. You know, his mum died there, his father, he doesn't have a photo. So he doesn't play for one thing. He's just got massive heart. Massive heart.
Imagine that moment. You're a child. The one person keeping your world together is suddenly gone. Forever. It was a tragedy. Mapimpi moved in with his grandmother, still walked those 10 kilometers, still dreamed of something bigger. Because when you have nothing left to lose, you'll risk everything to win. But life wasn't finished testing him. His sister Zukiswa falls ill and dies. Then his brother Zolani, his last connection to family, his final piece of home, gets electrocuted, loses his leg, dies from his injuries. You're 20 years old. Everyone you've ever loved is dead. You're completely alone in the world. Do you give up? Or do you fight harder than ever? It's quite easy to say, oh, you should get up and fight back, but I want you to really think about it. Everyone he loved was dead. That hits different. While other players got scholarships and opportunities handed to them, Mapimpi scraped for every chance. Amateur rugby, borrowed boots, sleeping on floors. By 2014, he finally makes the Border Bulldogs. He did this at 24 years of age, ancient by rugby standards. By 2017, he gets loaned to the Southern Kings. This is it, his one shot. 11 tries in 14 games, the rugby world finally notices the boy from nowhere. He got his first Springbok cap in 2018 at 27. Most players retire at that age, 4 tries in 4 games. But here's the pressure. He knows this might be his only chance. One bad game, one injury, and he's back to nothing. Then comes 2019, the World Cup, the biggest stage in rugby, and Mapimpi, the orphan, the late bloomer, the boy who walked 10 kilometers to school, is South Africa's starting left winger. World Cup final, England versus South Africa, November 2nd, 2019, Yokohama Stadium, Japan. 80,000 people in the stadium, millions watching worldwide. The pressure is suffocating. But here's what makes this moment even more incredible. South Africa had won the World Cup twice before, in 1995 and 2007. 2 championships, 2 trophies. But in 32 years of World Cup history, they had never scored a try in the final. Not once. Think about that. The biggest moment in rugby, and South Africa had never crossed the line when it mattered most. Mapimpi knows this. Every South African knows this. It's the curse that haunts their rugby legacy. First half, England comes out swinging. They're physical, they're organised, they're hungry. The Springboks are under siege. At half-time, it's 6-12 to England. South Africa is losing. Second half, The Springboks come alive, the forwards start dominating, the pressure builds. Then, the 65th minute. The moment that changes everything, quick hands in the backline. The ball shifts wide. England's defence is stretched thin. The ball finds Mapimpi. In that split second, he sees it. The gap, the opportunity. His entire life has led to this moment. He puts in a chip kick. Perfect weight. Perfect height. The ball hangs in the air like time has stopped. Lukanyo collects it on the bounce. One defender to beat. He does. Then the pass back to Mapimpi. 5 metres from the line. 3 English defenders converging. This is it. The boy who had nothing powers through. Touchdown. History made. The Springboks go on to win 32-12. Dominant, convincing. World champions again. But Mapimpi's story doesn't end there. The tournament reveals him as the breakout star. 6 tries in 7 games. The leading try scorer. The man who lit up Japan with his pace and power. After the final whistle, as confetti falls and the Webb Ellis Cup is lifted, Mapimpi stands alone for a moment, taking it all in. The kid who had to fight for everything had just conquered rugby's ultimate prize. The World Cup wasn't just a rugby tournament for Mapimpi. It was validation, proof that a boy from nowhere could become everything, that dreams don't die just because dreamers face tragedy. From that rural school with broken windows to scoring tries in World Cup finals, that's not just a career transformation, that's a miracle, and the most beautiful part, he was just getting started. Today, Mapimpi runs a charity foundation, donated 1.2 million rand to his old school, fighting gender-based violence, creating opportunities for kids who remind him of himself, because he knows something most of us forget. Your circumstances don't define your destination. Makazole Mapimpi proved that when life takes everything from you, it also frees you to become everything you're meant to be. Sometimes the greatest strength comes from having nothing left to lose. What would you do if you couldn't fail?